Job has won the argument. It's over. He's going to dig in his heels and he's going to push his agenda. And so let's just jump into it. Chapter 27. And Job continued his discourse. As surely as God lives, who denied me justice, the Almighty, who has made my life bitter. Do you think this is kind of telling you where Job's coming from? He's blaming God for a lot of this. But he's talking to his friends in verse 5, and he says, I will never admit you are in the right. Till I die, I will not deny my integrity. I will maintain my innocence and never let go of it. My conscience will not reproach me as long as I live. For what hope have the godless when they are cut off? When God takes away their life, does God listen to their cry when distress comes upon them? In other words, I have an advantage the wicked don't have. God will listen to me. He doesn't listen to the wicked. Here's the fate God allots to the wicked, the heritage a ruthless man receives from the Almighty. And then he goes and he just gives a litany of everything that's going to go wrong for the wicked person, because he does believe that. He does believe that bad things are going to happen. But then when he gets to chapter 28, okay, he's asking the question of, so where do we find wisdom? How do we navigate? So he talks about miners. And in verse 11, he says, they search for the sources of rivers and bring hidden things to light. But where can wisdom be found? Where does understanding dwell? No mortal comprehends its worth. It cannot be found in the land of the living. In other words, wisdom is beyond our reach. It's beyond our grasp. We can find gold and stuff, but we can't find wisdom. Where does wisdom come from? Where does understanding dwell? It is hidden from the eyes of every living thing, concealed even from the birds of the sky. Destruction and death say, only a rumor of it has reached our ears. Wow. Let's read on. God alone, God understands the way to it, and he alone knows where it dwells. For he views the ends from the earth and sees everything under the heavens. And he has said to the human race, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to shun evil is understanding. Now that's a big deal with Moses and the law, and it's very, very true. The whole point is that you got to trust God. And Job's getting there. Job really is. He's getting there. He's wrestling with his limitations. And we need to wrestle with our limitations. But if we stay within the limitations of this life, we're in trouble. Have a great day. Talk to you later.